Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Divine Traveler, the tale behind the stone walls. Episode number 5, and we leave Vizianagaram now and we move towards the beautiful city of Vishakhapatnam. For the next 4 nights we will be staying in Vizag only. Vizag, as we know, is a very beautiful tourist destination, and we would be majorly covering the sea beaches here and the Buddhist monuments that are present here. Vishakhapatnam does not have many ancient temples, so except one which is present in the Appikonda Beach, we would be covering that. And apart from that, the beaches and the Buddhist monuments. Majorly Buddhist remnants are present in and around. Very old Buddhist remnants are present. Buddhist monuments and Buddhist monasteries are present in and around Vishakhapatnam. We will try to cover those. Talking about a brief history of Vishakhapatnam, the history of Vishakhapatnam goes back to as early as 6th century BCE, when the region was part of Kalinga. Over the time, Vishakhapatnam was ruled by various Hindu dynasties, which included the Andhra Satavahanas, or the Andhras they are locally known as. After that, they were ruled by the Chalukyas of Vengi, also known as Vengi Chalukyas. Then they were ruled by Pallavas, and finally they were ruled by the Eastern Ganga dynasty. The ancient story of Vishakhapatnam is also available in the inscriptions of the famous Manikyamma Devi temple at Draksharamam. The temple is around 1,800, is almost 1,000 years old and believed to be constructed somewhere around 1,087 by the Chalukyan king Bhima. We would be covering that temple in our next episode or future episodes, because we covered that temple from a different place when we were staying in Kakinada. Vishakhapatnam has always been a major seaport with major sea links in Southeast Asia, and with export and import occurring between Vishakhapatnam and to places even up to Rome. There were connections with Rome also in the Central Asia portions. So after these Hindu dynasties, the control gradually moved towards the Islamic dynasties, including majorly Deccan sultans, and for some time over to the Mughals also, before being finally going in the hands of French. The war at Chanduti, as I mentioned in my earlier episode, which took place in 1758, was a major turning point in the history of Vishakhapatnam, when the French lost to the British and the control of the northern Sirkars went to British from the French. And this is at this time when Vishakhapatnam was basically a very big region during that time, and it was divided into 3 zones. Day 12, and our route was something like this. We started from our hotel VR Grand at Vizianagaram. Our first destination was Varaha Narasimha temple at Seemanchalam. From there we moved on to Thotlakonda Buddhist Monastery in Vishakhapatnam, and finally we reached Bhavikonda Buddhist Monastery in Vishakhapatnam. After that, from this day we were staying in Vishakhapatnam for the next 4 nights, and we chose Hotel Supine Comfort in Vishakhapatnam. On day 13, we started early from our Hotel Supine Comfort in Vishakhapatnam, and our first destination was Bheemili Beach. From Bheemili Beach, we visited the Flagstaff Cemetery just opposite the Bheemili Beach, and after that we tried visiting Rishikonda Beach. It was very crowded that day, and we dropped our idea of visiting Rishikonda Beach. However, we had some very good lunch in the restaurant near Rishikonda Beach. Believe me, the food in Vishakhapatnam, especially in the beach areas, is really good. And after Rishikonda Beach, we went back to our hotel. Day 14, and our first destination was Someshwara Swamy Temple in Appikonda Beach. After visiting Someshwara Swamy Temple, we could not visit Appikonda Beach because of flood. There was no route to visit the beach. Our next destination was Gangavaram Beach, but ultimately we could not find the Gangavaram Beach. It was very confusing. The Google map was not giving us a proper direction. So we proceeded to our next point, which was Yerada Beach. And from Yerada Beach, we tried to visit Dolphin's Point, Dolphin's Nose, but that was closed because of some army programs. And after that, we returned to our hotel Supine Comfort in Vishakhapatnam. Finally, on day 15, this was also a very short day trip. Our first destination were Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda Buddhist monuments. From Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda Buddhist monuments, we decided to visit and try Rishikonda Beach once again. We were able to visit, the crowd was lesser this time. And after Rishikonda Beach, we came back to our hotel Supine Comfort in Vishakhapatnam. Day 11 and our first destination of the day, Varaha Narasimha Temple at Seemanchalam near Vishakhapatnam. The Varaha Narasimha Temple at Seemanchalam, situated at the Seemanchalam hills, is one of the 18 Narasimha Kshetras in India. The temple is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and the temple has a beautifully carved 96 pillared Kalyana Mantapa and Natya Mantapa. The important feature and the most striking feature of this temple is the presence of Lord Vishnu in both Varaha and Narasimha avatar. This is known to be the exact place as per the legend of Sthala Puran, where Lord Narasimha saved his devotee Prahlada from his father Hiranyakashipu. This form of Lord Vishnu, which is known as Varaha Narasimha or also known as Dvayavatara, where Lord Vishnu assumes the form of both his incarnations Varaha and Narasimha, was basically done, as per legend of course of Sthala Purana, was basically done to fulfill the wish of his devotee Prahlada, who wanted to see Lord Vishnu in both the incarnations of Varaha and Narasimha, who killed respectively Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipa. So this basically happens when Lord Vishnu tries to save Prahlada while he was being pushed from the top of a hill in the Simhadri hills. Multiple inscriptions which have been found in the temple suggests that the temple is almost around 1000 years old. The earliest inscription which is found is of the Chola king Kothalunga Chola, who was the son of Raja Narendra of Raja Mahendra Varman, and that is almost as early as 1098 AD. Later inscriptions have also been found which belongs to the Eastern Ganga dynasty king Ananta Varman Choda Ganga Deva, and that suggests that even the Eastern Ganga dynasty kings have donated grants for the construction of the temple. This is one of the most unique temples which has a ISO certification, which is very rare in India. The photography is not allowed inside the temple, and we were denied the permission of taking the cameras. So I do not have pictures of the temple from inside, anywhere inside. The architecture of the temple is a typical Dravidian style of architecture with a front main gopuram, but the temple is not inside a typical Dravidian compound because the temple is situated at the top of a hill. Although the temple is believed to be constructed well before 10th century AD, but it is said that the current structure of the temple is a mix of the Dravidian and Kalingan style of architecture and was built by Raja Narsingh Dev I of Eastern Ganga dynasty, and the consecration of the temple was done by his son Bhanudeva in the year 1268 AD. After Tirupati Tirumala, Varaha Narasimha temple at Seemanchalam is the second largest Narasimha temple in Andhra Pradesh, and this is another very important center of Vaishnavism along with temple at Vishakhapatnam and Jagannath temple at Puri. Second destination, Thotlakonda Buddhist Monastery. Our second destination on day 12 was the very beautiful Thotlakonda Buddhist Monastery, which is situated in the hills of Bheemili. Opposite the main gate of the Thotlakonda Buddhist Monastery is a very scenic beauty of the Bay of Bengal Sea. It is basically the Bheemili beach, which is visible, and it's superb. It's a superb view of the sea. The monastery is believed to be almost 2000 years old, with peak of its activity in the 2nd century BC. It is believed that the monastery was able to occupy at least 100 bhikkhus. The monastery declined during the period of 3rd century BC. The archaeological evidences show that the monastery had storing food, medicinal and clothing facilities and it served as a major religious center during that period. It is believed that Nikaya Buddhism was majorly practiced here, and the worship of Lord Buddha was done here in the form of symbols like padukas instead of a real human representation. As I mentioned earlier, Vishakhapatnam was initially part of the Kalinga region, and because of the Kalinga influence, Thotlakonda Buddhist Monastery served as a major source of dissemination of Buddhism towards Southeast Asia and Sri Lanka. It is believed that Buddhist monks from China and Burma and other places used to come here and stay at the Thotlakonda monasteries for months before completing their learning. The Thotlakonda monastery was completely destroyed and it was reconstructed only in 2016 by the archaeological department. It is believed that the vihara of the monastery is almost 2000 years old. The monastery had a number of stupas which are mainly used for preserving the sacred relics related to Buddha and other saintly persons. Apart from stupas, there are chaityas. Chaityas are mainly prayer halls for performing Buddhist prayers. And lastly, there are viharas. which are mainly used for the purpose of staying by the monks who used to visit here from other locations. Third destination of the day, Bhavikonda Buddhist Monastery. Our third destination for the day was Bhavikonda Buddhist Monastery or Bhavikonda Buddhist Monastery, which is also situated in the Bheemili Hills and is a couple of kilometers away from Thotlakonda Monastery. The monastery is also supposed to be built around 3rd century BC. The hill is known for the presence of 3 wells for the collection of rainwater. This particular monastery, it is believed that was located in the route linking Andhra Desa with North India via Kalinga, and also connections to the major ports. During excavation of the site, there were various relics which were found, which included caskets, potteries, inscriptions, copper coins, etc. etc. Along with this, there was also an urn which was found which contained a bone. This is believed to be the remains of Lord Buddha. Also, the site contains Buddhapada slabs having intricately carved out Ashtamangala symbols. There are various shrines and temples which are found in the entire site. Excavations have revealed around 26 structures which are found in the site, and based on the structure, based on the architecture of the structure, it is believed that the entire complex was built over 3 different stages. The complex also contains a dagoba. This is a kind of a Mahastupa which contains the earthly remains of Lord Buddha. One of the cave that was found contains a huge statue of Lord Buddha himself. Excavations have revealed that the cave leads to a lower pathway where almost 24 pillars were there, and there are rooms for staying also. The discovery of Roman coins proves the point that there were major exports which used to took place via sea routes from this area, Vishakhapatnam, at that time, with the Central Asia and Rome also. Day 13, and we begin our journey by visiting the Bheemili Beach at the Flagstaff Cemetery opposite it. while I'm covering Bheemili beach here, it becomes apparent for me to narrate something about the flagstaff cemetery that is present in the Bheemili beach. The Bheemili beach is around 25 kilometers from Vishakhapatnam, and the most striking feature of the beach, apart from its beauty, is the flagstaff cemetery that is present right opposite the beach. The flagstaff cemetery is a very old cemetery going back to as early as the 17th century. While entering the flagstaff cemetery, it is divided into two parts. On the right hand side there is the cemetery of the British, while the rest of the cemetery belongs to a Dutch. Talking about the Dutch settlements in India, the earliest Dutch settlement in the eastern coast of India goes back to 17th century, and that was in this part of the region, which is Bheemili. The flagstaff cemetery here is one of the oldest, and the cemetery is mainly dedicated to those Dutch people who laid down their lives because of various reasons. One of the most important features of the cemeteries in this flagstaff cemetery is the mention of the reason of the death of the person to whom the cemetery belongs, or whose cemetery it is. The oldest cemetery here belongs to Frederick Clesias, which is almost around from 1660. Day 14 and our destinations of the day are the famous Someshwara temple, Someshwara Swamy temple in Appikonda Beach, Gangavaram Beach and Yerada Beach. First destination, Someshwara Swamy temple near Appikonda Beach. Could not visit Appikonda Beach because there was flood and there was no way out. Among all the beaches of Vishakhapatnam, one of the beaches which stands far from the city, hustle and bustle, and in a very peace and calm location is the Appikonda Beach. The beach is almost 30 kilometers away from Vishakhapatnam city. It's a very well maintained and very scenic beach with crystal clear water, well maintained. Unfortunately, we could not visit the beach because of the flood. Appikonda Beach is also known for the Someshwara Swamy temple which is situated around 100 meters from the beach. The Someshwara Swamy temple is almost 1000 years old, and the temple was constructed by Thotlakonda I of the Chola dynasty. There were multiple inscriptions which are found in the temple, amongst which one of the inscriptions is dated back to 12th century AD, mentioning that the village Appikonda has been in continuous grants by the Chola kings so that the local villagers can continuously worship in the temple. And other inscriptions are also there which date back to as early as 14th century AD.
देवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो.
The temple contains a life-size Nandi which was carved out of a single black stone, and that Nandi is worth viewing because it's a very special feature of this temple. It's very rare to find such kind of Nandis across all the ancient temples.
ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र.
Adjacent to the Someshwara temple, there were three more temples which are dedicated to Lord Shiva, which has been brought out into life from below the sands. Basically, these temples were buried under the sand, and they are referred to as Shiva Temple 1, 2 and 3. There is a lot of description which I have provided in my write-ups in blogger.com. Regarding the dimensions of the various parts of the temples. I found these contents after searching a lot in online through some comments by unknown writers. I have given the name of those reviewers who have provided such information, but these informations are worth reading. So if you want, you can go through the write-up in my blogger.com post. It contains the dimensions of various like Antarala, Vestibule, Prakhara, then the main Garbhagriha, how they are constructed, and the dimensions of the Nandi which is found, and various other things. The temple is worth visiting. This is what I am pretty sure that the current structure is not the original structure, but there are traces of iconographies left on the wall. The original structure might have been reincarnated later. Do visit this temple if you plan to visit Appikonda Second destination of day 14 is the Yerada beach. Day 15 and our destinations for the day are the Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda Buddhist sites, which are around 40 kilometers from Vishakhapatnam. The Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda caves are two ancient Buddhist rock-cut caves which are situated adjacent to each other in the village Sankaram in Andhra Pradesh. The sites are believed to be dated back to somewhere between 4th and 9th century AD. Bojjanakonda is also known as Buddhinakonda. Considered to be one of the most remarkable Buddhist establishments between the period of 4th and 9th century AD, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, both Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda consists of a numerous number of monolithic stupas, rock-cut caves, chaityas and monasteries. The exquisite artwork and the architecture of the two Buddhist monuments give an amazing experience to the visitors, with a beautiful green environment in between the hillocks and a lovely surroundings that makes the travel to the place specially beautiful and worthy. The most majestic feature of the caves is the figure of Lord Buddha in a majestic pose. Artifacts discovered from the site includes gold coins from Samudragupta era, copper coins from Chalukya king Kubja Vishnuvardhana, and coins from Andhra Satavahana period, along with some potteries. The word Sangrama, from which the village Sankaram in which the sites are located has been derived, is not a very common term used in Andhra Pradesh, but is a term which is used in Takshashila. Also, it is found that the architecture of the places are very in line with the architecture of Takshashila, which infers the fact that the influence of North Indian Buddhism had a lot at this place, Bojjanakonda and Lingalakonda. The construction of the famous Buddhist temple of Baradur in Java seems to have followed the architectural designs of Lingalakonda. Bojjanakonda is the eastern hillock, and the caves contain numerous rock-cut stupas here, along with the main Mahastupa. Archaeological evidences suggest that all forms of Buddhism, including Hinayana, Vajrayana and Mahayana, were practiced and followed here. Idols of Buddhist goddess Haiti, who was a Buddhist monk, and Kala Bhairava, representing Lord Ganesha with the head of Lord Ganesha with conch shell in his hands, were also found here. The Bojjanakonda caves are a large group of caves compared to Lingalakonda, which are situated on the western hills. The Bojjanakonda establishments are situated in multiple levels in the hill, and you have staircases are specially built to climb through the various levels and find out the caves and the stupas at the top. It would take around 45 minutes to 1 hour to cover Bojjanakonda completely, while Lingalakonda, which is around 200 meters from the Bojjanakonda site and is another beautiful monastery with stupas there, will take hardly around 15 to 20 minutes once you climb up the stairs. That is also in a height, but it is not as big and spread as much as Bojjanakonda. It is very evident that the Buddhist monks used to worship in the top of the hill in the stupas around 2000 years ago. If you want to study these Buddhist places, the study is numerous and there is a lot of documentation available. In this episode, I cannot explain everything. I can just give you a brief and share the details about the location and few photographs and videos which you might like very much to have an initial idea of the places. Second destination of the day, Vishakhapatnam Beach, which we tried to cover on day 12, but we could not do that because there was heavy rush there and we missed out on the opportunity. So friends, this is it for this episode covering day 12 to day 15. Not much about ancient temples in this particular series, in this particular episode, but I hope what I covered in these videos did entertain you and you liked them. I would request you once again to subscribe to the channel to get regular updates on my videos, and also put your comments on the comment section to let me know how I can improve my contents. And again, once again, if there is any contention in my contents, then do let me know so that it might help me in improving, correcting things, and it might help others who are actually watching my video series too. Thank you. Thanks a lot.